Not great axle stands positions, but I'm going to get more support underneath there just in case it decides to fall off anything. But let's have a little look-see. This upper outside is pretty good considering it's a Yaris. See, it's crumbling away here, but that's gonna, yeah. We have the start of a hole there, and obviously everything in behind is the big issue, so I'm gonna have to cut quite a big bit out of here. I try to keep it below this line here, just so that I can get away with not really painting it. Yeah, not great. You can see where I bodged it for the last MOT. See, it's starting to separate there as well. Now on the other side, that's my biggest worry when I've been driving this car. So the actual outside of this bit here is all pretty good, but you can see the usual bit, somebody's jacked it up and it's just basically shoved it all in because there's no structure there. And the worrying bit is that bit there. This is the rear beam of the axle, as you can see, and that right there is a structural part. That needs to be reinforced, if it can be. As you can see, previous owners repair multiple. I should really be looking down here as well, yeah. So that goes quite far out, but that's not today's task. Today's task is get it up in the air and get it safe, which I need to continue on with. Right, it's very cold in here. I might go get another jumper. But I have drew as straight a possible line I can. This is how far I'm gonna cut up. Actually, jacking points there, I might kind of half that a little bit. But basically just try to do, I'm trying to save everything up here. I kind of, when it comes to rust repair, and especially on stuff like this, although this is the area of the worstness, that you can see that it is most likely travelled up higher than that. I'm kind of hoping that it's travelled up to about kind of here. It's where the water would sit basically. If I can keep it below obviously the line of where the skirt goes, then it means that I don't really need to make a neat job, so I can just do whatever I want. Nice little bulgy old angle there, and I don't know if that is on the 4 doors, if I'm honest. I can't ever remember making it, but yeah, either way. This is what we're looking at. It looks pretty horrendous in here, not gonna lie. Pretty bummed out when I cut it all open to find this, but I do believe a lot of this bit up in here is all surface rust. So what I'm gonna do, I am just gonna wire wheel all of this area up in here and see what's like that and see what's like that, because that right there is actually very, very strong. So I might make a piece runs along there just to keep my bearings in check with that part there. All in all, just seems a little bit surfacey at the minute. Maybe a little bit up in there, but I'll clean it up, see where we go from there. Yep, that's a lot worse on this side. I've just kind of went for it. This here is kind of got me concerned. That is very strong metal there. That is the molten point behind there. So I'm just going to have to clean it up to see how good I can get it, but I think I might be seeing the other end of a nut through there. Alright, so I gave that a good clean up yesterday, and surprisingly it's not turned to surface rust. I wasn't paying attention to what I was filming now. Yeah, so this side came up alright. Probably going to remake most of this. On the other side though, it's a different story. I just kind of hit the depression wave and went for it. Yep, it's a lot more nasty on this side, and that's worrying. That's really worrying, because that's the bolt for the rear axle. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. Cut this bit out. I had to use the Dremel, it was that small, just to get in there. So that there is the rear bolt for the whole beam. Luckily this is pretty thick metal, so it looks horrible, but it's strong, it's thick, which is good. It's good, we like thick, strong metal. I've cut this bit out here, and this is kind of like the first attachment point for this to brace off with something else, basically. Basically this is basically pulling on all the way down the sill. So it is. So, where are you? That's kind of the first piece that I've got kind of fabbed up. It doesn't fit too well, but I'll be able to fill it in with some welding. I can get to everything, like obviously everything in here I can't get to. But this bottom bit here I can get to. Right underneath. Before I do that, I should probably look at this back section here. Well, this is a lot worse than what I was hoping for, but it's just on the outside, and the inside it's still kind of bad, but yeah. So, where did that bit go? Here. So that's what I've got to work off. That came off of that there, and obviously the rest of it is gone. Didn't feel like recording after all this yesterday, but I've got that little kind of profile plate in here. That's where I'm going to pick up the bottom of the outer sill. So it's got to be in so as I can make the plate, basically. I also got this bit in here. It didn't go in very nicely. See, I was struggling with some holes and all that sort of stuff, but it's in now, and as you can see from the back side of there, I've also welded it along the kind of teeth at the back for the there you go. That wasn't very nice to weld either. It kind of really fought with me. I mean, it is rusty to be fair, but I kind of wish I went a bit higher up in here with this plate here. I'll just take it up from here because the actual back side of this is pretty crusty. Today's job is basically making this whole L bit up to a certain point. I think I'm probably just going to do it to about where that patch has been. I'm just going to have to crack on with it because I'm kind of sick of it already. Alright, after a bit of cutting and fabbing, we have a piece that sort of fits. It's going to be a lot of filling to do, but I don't think I'll get any better than that, really. It was fitting better just a minute ago, but that's just kind of how these things go. Gonna get the welder up and running and slog it in, I think. That's them in. Wow, that was a nightmare. This big one here, it just was not sticking to there at all. I did finally get something in, but I mean, the main jacking point is here, and that's where the big bits are. But, oh, Jesus, man, it just wasn't for it. I mean, that is the bit where it has the patch underneath it. It's not been done properly, but I kind of can't be bothered. And it's got something in there, more than what was there before, and it's attached more. So yeah, these two bits here are the main structural bits for that. Alright, so I've just horsed this bit on. As you can tell, I absolutely messed up the sizes along there. So yeah, I kind of had to put little extension pieces in, but it's on enough. It's not attached here because there's, yep, that's rusty, and I can't be bothered cutting any more. As long as this area is fine, because that's the jacking point to the mounting point. This here will be fine. It's got lots of metal in there. There's more metal than there was anyways that's attached, but yeah, this is quite horrendous. In the art of saving as much metal as possible, new metal, a little biscuit in that. This section here is actually fine, so it's going back on. It means that I don't have to create this shape here. Not that you're going to see it anyways, because it's going to be underneath the thing, but Just a little bit on the end there and a little bit to the bottom, which means I can get a nice in there. But yeah, now I'm going to do that and that'll probably be that for the night. It's solid, it's together. I was happy that I could keep this piece here because that's the shape. That's me. I'm finished with this side now. I've still got to do like the inside of there. I've not even painted in there. A week into it now. I just didn't do anything over the weekend because I was just annoyed with it. Just couldn't be bothered. But yeah, so we're on to this side here. So I think my best option is all this metal up here is actually really nice and good on this side. So I just need to make a small replacement, probably going up to about there. And I think that'll do. I'm not even sure if I'm going to bother going over here. If I can get this section here nice and strong, I'll give that a good poking over there anyways, see what he's saying. Alright, we do love a win. We do love an epic win. Ran out of wire, and I was like, oh no. This is the little 1 kilogram spools I usually get, and I bought a 5 kilogram spool that has a big, massive benefit. Oh no. I'll give it away already. Here. That's kind of like, oh no, that's never going to work. It's far too big. But this little bit here usually sits in the middle like that. I noticed that it's got an outer ring on it. So, yeah, pull it up, put that on, and slide the boy on. And would you look at that? It fits. Oh. I was gonna spool wire onto these from them, but bugger that. I can just do this. That's how it is. Oh, just in time for the inspector to come. Where's he going? Oh, he must not be a fan of that. Look at that. 5 kilogram spool of wire in the small welder. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Sit rep. New wire's better. So much better. I don't know what it was, but like, if you look up there, look how much splatteriness that was. That was the thinner wire, whereas like all this stuff here, it's just far, far better. I don't know what the hell is up with it, but yeah. Glad I'm on the new wire. It is slightly thicker, so it's taking a lot of that heat away before it can kind of burn through stuff, which, yeah, I guess that's what was happening up there. Right, this is yesterday's effort. I did actually end up having a bit of problem with this wire. As you can see, it's not really pulling that great, which is a problem. It's a big bit of a problem, and it's also damp. But yeah, so I've welded in the original bits, this side and this side, and because obviously the original bits didn't fit, I had to strengthen it up. Little strengthening plates just so as it gets it down there. And then this is too thin of metal, and I don't know really why I put it in there now, but it's in there. But yeah, you can see I was having an absolute trouble with it. It just kept like, because it was like not pulling properly, it just like put a blob down, stop for a second, put a blob down, stop for a second, and obviously it just wasn't great. I kind of gave up on it, but it was welding great at one point. But yeah, you can also see I'm not used to the thickness of the wire, how big these things are. But anyways, behind here there's a lot of strength. I don't know if I showed you that. These sills have an outer back, a middle bit, and then another middle bit, and then an outer again. So these are the 1.6mm bits of plate. These are the original ones, plus strengthened down there. I don't think it really matters. I think this here is going to be plenty strong. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did the last time. On the other side, I'm going to weld this on, and then out of 1.6mm, because that's the size that I have, I'm going to fold it, come up, do all the way along here. Oh yeah, I also did in there. It's just not great, these welds. I am working with what I've got, and I know it's horrendous, but there's more in there than there ever was, and it's connected in places, so yeah, slags off in the comments. No, out of gas. So I went and got more gas. Well, tried to. The place I get my gas from for the hobby weld, out of stock. Nice. So I had to go get a disposable one. I think this was Tool Station, £16 or something. So that'll get me through the rest of it. Luckily, found my little rig. I got stuck, but I didn't really get much started with that welding, to be fair. It needs kind of all whacked into position and everything. Obviously give it a coat of primer just so it doesn't rust. Look at that, it's not even lining up. Nice. That bit there. So that's what's all came out of the car. There's some new bits in there as well, but majority of it is old crusty stuff from the car. Yep. Madness, eh? Thank God that's done. And it was black, well, maybe almost black. I'm not sure. Yep, I'm a lot happier with that. So, it's like 4 degrees right now. Gotta let that dry before I can even test the side skirts on, so I'm just doing little things like putting the number plate back on. That's the threaded inserts in. Put a primer in there just to stop them from rusting as much. I only have small M6s, and I believe the tiger seal I've got might be off, so I'm gonna have to order more of everything. As you can see, that's, yeah. Once I get like the spacer on, the washer, sorry, and all that, I'm just better off with a longer bolt, so I'll get a few of them ordered. I've also run out of threaded inserts, so the other side doesn't have any in, but yeah. Oh, I hear the inspector. Yes, hello. What do you think? What do you think of the setup here? Is it okay? I think he's more interested in other things, but yeah, no, happy with that. That stone chip's quite a nice colour as well. It seems pretty rubbery, which is good. More rubbery than usual. That's this stuff that I'm using, so it is. And for etch primer, it's just U-pole stuff. Oh, nah, he's not happy with something. Something over there's triggered him. But yeah, no, I'm gonna get this car back on the road. Back on tyres, the ground, and yeah, I'm just gonna have to run with no side skirts, but at least there's no more rust. Alright, here we are, and we're finished. Side skirts are now all fully back on with the threaded inserts and everything. That's far better than what that used to be anyways. Tiger sealed on. I did have tiger seal, that's good. When it's manky like this, you can't really tell I've been in there. There is a few bits where I've like, hello Brad, where I've like kind of melted it, like along these bits here, but yeah, no, you can't really tell I've actually been in there and done the sills, so I mean that's good. Also, when I was doing stuff, I took this spoiler off and kind of put it back on, and it's far better on now, so I'm pretty chuffed. I've kind of used my time very wisely. Yeah, on the last clip I did, I wasn't very happy with it, with the job I'd done, which was funny because it is a whole lot better to drive now. Holy crap, the rear end is there. It's changed the car. It's the back end. It feels it's actually there now. The only way I can describe it is like when you used to like hit a bumper, like kind of like used to load the back end. Like you used to could feel the chassis kind of bending like that, if that makes sense. Like it should stay rigid, but it kind of bends. So it just left for this like really mushy feel at the back end of the car, which wasn't great for when you were on the road and like you were coming up to a really bumpy bit, and then the back end was just doing whatever it felt like. Now, pretty damn good. It's actually surprising. So like for all I was really upset at the job I had done welding inside and everything like that on the outside, and you know, I don't feel like I did that great of a job, but oh, it's made a difference. It has made a difference. It was well worth the time and effort. That just goes to show that you should just always, if you know it's going to be too good, then you should just do it. Just do it. Something like that. It feels so much better to drive. When you go for bumps, it clunks less, which is really weird. And also something that I've noticed that's pretty funny. So as you can see on the back end of these, the boots here, obviously, as I keep on talking about, oh, it's very messy in here, I know. As I keep on talking about, there is 4 mounting points for that rear axle. So you got 2 down there, obviously, where we've just welded up. Then you've got these 2 rear bits here. Yes, they are on the car to do. I didn't feel like doing them at the time. Between these 4 points on the car, that's a lot of stress going through the car. Something I noticed the other day was when I was reversing up a slope, the boot creaks. Now I've always noticed that the boot creaks. This is different. It was just the boot creaking this time. I know people are very cynical about the OMP strut braces that are along the back, because realistically your strut brace, if you're putting your strut brace here, then you know there's a bit of rubber in the way, so it's not really acting it. But I've always wondered if you could make like a strut brace that goes across from there to there, like using these bits of metal here, because that means like you're not just bracing here, you're bracing all on this bracket and all up in here. So I wonder if you could make a brace going across there, and if it would stop this boot from creaking as much when you go up to like on an angle. Plop a bar in and weld it in kind of thing. Like would it make a massive difference? I've never actually owned a car with a strut brace. It's something I've always looked out for. Yeah, I've always wanted a strut brace for a car, but I've just never got around to buying one because I've never had that kind of like, oh, there's a strut brace. They're actually quite hard to find in the UK. I know OMP do a one for the front of that, but they're usually like 150 quid, and whenever they come up for sale, guess who doesn't have 150 quid? So, you know, it's the same with the MR2 as well. Kind of like I've been looking for like a Cusco or something like that, and I know you get TRD ones, they're quite common in the UK, but like a nice Cusco set would be pretty ace. But once again, don't come up very often, and when they do, Brad doesn't have the money for it. You should all start watching my videos, right? All the way from the start to the finish, so that I can get my ad revenue, and then I could start buying strut braces. But yeah, no, I'm super happy with the end result. It has been a different car to drive now, and yeah, it's just made it so much more connected on the back end, and those coilovers feel like they're actually working now, which is a lot better. Yeah, so if I could, I would add this to my top 5 mods you can do to Yaris, is weld your sills. Get them welded. Like, there's so much slop being lost in the back end. There's so much slop being added on the back end if you haven't got like old sills that are not braced and connected. So get it done. Buy a welder. Right, anyways guys, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like if you fancy. I know people love Yaris content, so hopefully this has sufficed you for a wee while. I hope you watch another video of mine. Get my watch time up so as I can get my ad revenue. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.